Hey everyone, welcome to Kempner Canucks. My name is RevTrev, and I'm so glad you're here. What a wild day, isn't it, everyone? Just thinking it's going to be an off day. It's going to be one of those moments where, you know, you're sitting there and you're going, nothing's really going to happen. They might talk about some lineup changes, maybe some conversation about when Dakota Joshua is going to get back, but then, bam, there's two big pieces that have just been announced today, and I just think it's really interesting, and we got to dive into it. And the fact is this, that Sprong is gone, that the Canucks traded Sprong back to a place where he's already been, the Kraken. And no offense, but I didn't see this coming. And some of you are like, how do you not see this coming? I mean, this early on in the season, and we already give up. Everyone was so excited when Sprong got signed that he has offensive upside. And so this is just, I'll be honest, I did not see this coming. And the Canucks announced that they traded Daniel Sprong, forward Daniel Sprong, to the Seattle Kraken in exchange for future considerations. And I posted this ever. Say what? What? I was just like, are you kidding me right now? And here's the thing. When it comes to Daniel Sprong, when it comes to anybody on this roster, and we have seen it for ever since Alvin and Rutherford got here, but if Rick Tocchet does not like how you play defense, you are not here for very long. Like Kuzmenko, gone. Sprong, gone. I feel like there's a bunch of other guys gone because they can't play defensively, okay? And this is just, they are ruthless. I mean, we're talking, 12 games in, and they already sent him packing? And part of you is like, well, there's a bigger picture part of it. Yes, but like, everyone was excited that under $1 million and you landed Sprong? Daniel is like, he wasn't bad. He wasn't terrible, but he didn't have anywhere to go with this team. Because if you think about it just for a moment, let's just think about this trade for a moment. Brock Besser gets injured. I do not know if he's playing tomorrow night. A lot of people have messaged me, how's Brock doing? I don't know, okay? I don't know at all, okay? But he can't move up the lineup. Like, it seems like the worst timing ever, right? Think about this for a moment. It's got to be the worst timing ever. You have a spot where he could potentially go play with DeBrusk and play with JT Miller, and here we are trading him away. Or maybe Höglander goes up, or someone else, Sherwood, goes up, and then you have Sprong, a veteran in this league, going to play, and then all of a sudden he's gone. You traded him the next day after the Brock Besser injury. Now, maybe Brock is playing tomorrow night. Maybe he is. And so I wanted to ask you guys the question. This is the big question for tonight's video. Are you happy or confused by the Daniel Sprong trade? Post in the comments. As you can tell, I was very confused by it today. And so we're going to get into why they did this deal, why they moved him so early on. Well, I got into one point why. He just was not a Rick Tocchet defensive guy. He did not do what he needed to do, and he didn't score enough. Let's just be honest. He didn't score enough. He didn't contribute enough. Now, he also was a healthy scratch. Was it 2 games? 3 games? I mean, how do you have good production when you're scratched? But that's how bad he played. Once they start scratching you, and it's like, we need to move you. We need to move you for cap space reasons. We need to move you because we got other guys that were in our system that we want up. But it just seemed like the timing was weird. And so I want to share with you a couple things, and then I'm going to get into the chat. There's a live chat going on. If you're here live, welcome. Good to have you here. If you are new to the channel, please consider hitting the like button on this video and subscribing. I'd appreciate the support because I'm trying to make Canucks content that is passionate, realistic, and honest. So I'm going to give you my passionate, realistic, and honest take. Also, I'm on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube. If you just follow me on Kempner Canucks, that would be fantastic on those. If you're on any of those platforms, give me a follow, everyone. So let's dive in to the possible reasons why, because it just seemed like it was a little strange, right? And some of you are like, Trev, I don't understand why you think it's strange. Let me just explain it. So Thomas Drance tweeted this, and this is the first of 2 like the tweet was too long for the space here. Okay, so this is part 1. Sounds like the Daniel Sprong trade was motivated partly by a desire to create a roster spot for one of the Canucks young forwards, Lecker, Baines, maybe someone else, right? Which is music to Vancouver Canucks fans' ears. That's true. And here's the second part of the Thomas Drance tweet. And partly because the trust factor that would have permitted Sprong to carve out a larger role just wasn't developing as hoped. And that's what I'm talking about. If Brock is out for any significant time, this is a bad time to trade him unless you're like, this guy is not the guy that's going to help us to compete. And so here we are. Now, I'm going to dive into some of the comments, but I want to talk about what are future considerations and talk about more trades that could be potentially coming our way. But before we do that, I just want to get back to this tweet just for a minute. And I just want to say, if fans were to pick between Daniel Sprong or Lecker, which one would you pick? In fact, I'm going to make a a poll right now on YouTube. Okay, I'm going to do this poll on YouTube right now, and I'm going to post this poll in. So if you're on YouTube, please go into this poll. I'm gonna have to bring up the YouTube feed right then. Okay, all right. Let's do a poll here. With Sprong gone, which AHL player, no, Abbotsford player do you want to see come up to the big club? Okay. First one will be Lecker, and the second one will be Baines. Okay. Or I'm going to do a third option. D, defenseman Petey. Okay. I'm starting it right now. Okay. It's starting. Okay. So let's just dive into comments, and then we'll get into those 2 different conversations. Okay. So very first person here didn't realize, Zacho Mama 64, welcome. You're the first one here. Didn't realize I was a bit early. And then Blazer fans pumped that this was a late night start. In fact, the post-game shows are always usually late. Absolutely. Blazer fan was just talking about Monter. We're going to talk about him a bit in a minute. If you're going to make a trade to the Kraken, you could at least try to get him as a top 4D. Yeah, I know. I agree. But that's not what they're looking for. That's the other thing. What is the deal with the Vancouver Canucks trading with rivals like Calgary, like the Kraken? There is no, they do not care who they trade with as long as they get what they're looking for. You know, they found a team that like, we'll take Sprong back. Seattle, we've had him and we like him. We wish he had signed with us in the offseason. We'll take him. I mean, that is crazy if you think about it. Isn't it? Just absolutely crazy. I'm not sure why they got rid of Sprong. Joshua has to be coming back real soon. I think that's another one of the reasons why they did this 100% is that Joshua's coming back into the lineup. But then why would they be bringing up Leckermacki or Baines or DPD? Okay. I know why they got rid of Sprong. We need a top 40. That is probably the other reason. I should have just went through all the reasons first. There is a good possibility that there could be more trades coming up, and they are clearing cap space to go after a defenseman. Okay, we're going to talk about that in a minute. Okay, so Daniel absolutely hates this move. Sprong was starting to play better defensively, and I think offensively as well. I really believe he was starting to find his place here. But yes, you get $1 million free cap space. Good to see you, Coach Rob. Welcome. I just mentioned this, Daniel. You're right. It's kind of weird timing, isn't it? Yeah, and future considerations usually amounts to a bag of pucks. Adam Lee is in the building. Good to see you. Jeevan is in the building. Good to see you. Carol's in the building. We have a trade going on, Carol. We got a trade. Okay. Adam Lee thinks we're going to be going after a D-man. Lyndon is in the building. Okay. Now, Jeevan says, does this mean Alvin is trying to cook up a trade for a top 4D? And was this a cap dump? This is possible. It's absolutely possible. Carol, it might not be stupid. I think there's a method to the madness. I want to see what else happens. Depends what they do. Okay. Shannon is in the building. Good to see you, Shannon. Okay. So Coach Rob is confused. Shannon, where were you when you posted the video earlier talking about Besser? I was in a hidden location. By the way, if you guys and girls haven't seen that video yet, I did do this video called Suspended. And I did a 6-minute video on the Tanner Janot suspension of 3 games. Go check that out. It's only 6 minutes long. It's worth watching, everyone. It's worth watching. Okay. So let me see. I think the Canucks didn't see that their defense was not that great. They needed to make room for something down the road. I think that's a very, very possible possibility. Dreamer, yes, they could be cooking something else up. Van Michael is here. Good to see you. Brock won't be playing for a minimum of 5 days for the concussion protocol. Is that confirmed? Is that confirmed? Blazer, you were shocked, surprised but not shocked. Dreamer said confused. Clifford is in the building. Good to see you. I thought he was going to be good for the Canucks too, but I guess you and I were wrong about that, Shannon. But Tyler's right. By the way, good to see you, Tyler. Wasn't going to be part of the top 6 with Besser out. So I saw the Hockey Guys video tonight as well, and he said it was always part of the plan that if it didn't work out with Vancouver, that they were going to trade him to the Kraken. And I just think that's a little strange. Like, really, like, did you get inside information? Because I'd love to know about that. Where did you see that? Where did you find that? Because that just seems weird that we're going to have a backup clause in case, right? Like, so just think about that for a moment. Where did you find that information? I would love to know. The hockey guy, and he does a lot of great work, so I'm not trying to criticize him at all, but I was shocked when I heard him say that. Okay, so you think that future considerations means that how Sprong does in Seattle, we could get a medium to high pick or a late round pick? Maybe. I think that future considerations means something very confusing. I think really what this one's coming down to is we're dumping salary. That's what this one is. So, and they have to say something. So they say future considerations that they didn't. But what it's supposed to do, right? Like Blazer, it's supposed to be like one day down the road when we make a trade, you remember this deal and you say, hey, we'll pull the trigger on this trade down the road because we gave you Sprong and you didn't take him. But they took on the salary, and it's not like the salary is a lot. But, yeah. So, can't control life? No, we can't control life. Control life. Yeah, okay. What do you agree with? Agree, Shannon. What does Shannon say? Because Benning and Travis Green were really bad. So happy that both Benning and Travis Green are gone. They both really messed up the Canucks. That's true. That's what everyone's agreeing upon. Okay. I really hope that the management didn't watch videos on Benning and Travis Green, as maybe that is what they did. It is crazy. Dell's upset. This management doesn't. Oh no, not upset. This is his comment. This management doesn't waste time. Good to see. Unfortunately, Grogu is not visible. Though that's true. He's not visible right now. Aggressive management, respect, trade move. Sprong was below average. Oh, geez. That's awkward. G is in the building. What did the Nucks expect from Sprong? He looked more dangerous than Petey at 7% of the cost. Good point. Murray, and sad point too, by the way. Murray, good to see you all the way from New Zealand. Yeah, maybe management sees better players coming up. Yeah, absolutely. Why would we want cash future consideration for the guy is going? Yeah, it's just a surprising one. I thought we would get a player in return. Trev, do you think any team in the NHL would take Petey's contract right now with nothing coming back the Nucks' way? Yes. Absolutely, 100%. I would think there would be at least 5 teams that would be interested in that. Absolutely. But I think there would be some people that would have to move a player back towards us. So, Tyler, the 91 doesn't work work in Vancouver. Sprong, Zadorov, Kravtsov. Oh, man. Dude, listen. McCann would have worked. They moved an asset. Zadorov did work. Okay, it did work, but didn't work out in the way of re-signing for another thing. So, yeah, Canuck era, it's definitely got to be cap space. Backup clauses sounds fishy. Yeah, that sounds. I just don't see that one, but maybe I'm wrong on that. Major, yeah, it's nice to have management that has a clear picture of what they want, not shy about going for it. Also, not making huge blunders and assessment of risks. Yeah, it's true. I mean, we're talking under $1 million, and we didn't lose. Like, what did we actually end up paying the guy for 12 games, and 2 of them he was healthy scratched? Future considerations is a 6-pack of Molson beers. had to have been that, right? Salary dump for future move. My guess is they have something 50% already done. That's possible. Okay. Let's dive in. Just a couple more comments, and what do you think of CHL now allowing to have Tier 1 NCAA players now? Vancouver Giants or the Victoria Royals could be having guys like Austin Matthews or Quinn Hughes like players on the team now. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this because it affects the other league. Is it the BCJHL? With the Clippers and the Vernon Vipers, the Penticton Vs. I think that really hurts their league. So I'm to be honest, I'm not a big fan of it. I'm not a big fan of it. Now, I could be wrong. I have to think about it. I have to hear more about it, but I'm not a big fan of it. Hey, you just joined the stream. Can you explain what future considerations means, and has any other team done this before, and how did that end up? Tons of teams have done this over the years. Ever since I've been watching hockey as a teenager, there has been trades for future considerations. Most often, Ryan, it just comes down to a salary dump. It's supposed to mean that one day down the road that you make another deal. Maybe it's a close one, and they're like, I don't really want to do this. It's close, though, and you say, well, listen, I did this trade, and there was future considerations involved. So just reminder, everyone, that's where we're at. But it could be a draft pick, like some of the people in the chat have already said. Depends on what kind of round of draft pick. It could mean that, too. Future considerations actually means a lot of things. And it's not a hard, fast rule, I don't think. This was done for a reason. Canucks management makes moves for a reason. I agree, Adam Lee. As a Sens fan, Travis Green opinion, I feel Canucks shifted when you got Tocchet. Travis Green was an okay coach. He was a boring interview, but that doesn't matter. He was an okay coach. I felt like he had some successful moments. I appreciated him. I think he's an okay coach in Vancouver. He had some good moments, but I am glad we moved on. We had to move on. The Boudreau thing seemed like a good idea, but when we shifted to Tocchet, then it was awesome. So I think that's a great move for us, but it was Travis Green to Boudreau to Tocchet, and that's how it happened. Yeah, like the Victoria Royals channel, you guys are awesome that way. Okay. So, yeah, that's where I'm feeling. Future considerations, trade my veggies for your Ritz crackers. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's dive into the last couple things, and I'm going to take off this banner because it's just been on a long time. And where did it go? Banners, top. Here we go. Let's take that off. Okay, so we talked already about future considerations. What are future considerations? This one is more trades. Now, there is definitely a possibility with this management that there could be more trades coming our way. There is absolutely a possibility, okay? But I want to talk to you first about this. Clickbait rumors versus actual reports, okay? I want to give you some tips and tricks to determine which is which. Now, I've got people, I've talked to lots of people in our chat and that are following the channel about this. Some of you have been so awesome and sent me great messages, and some have just been trade rumors, and some are actual reports of what the Vancouver Canucks are doing. You have to be careful that there are too many videos out there, and I get it. People love gossip. They love rumors. They love those things. So every once in a while, I'll do a trade rumor video, and you'll see me put trade rumor, okay? But I try to do content, and there's nothing wrong if people want to do that kind of content. That's the style they want. That's totally fine. But for me, I'm trying to build this channel on more reports. Not that I'm an insider or anything, but I want more reports. And sometimes I talk about trade rumors because sometimes it's just fun to just dream a little, right? To think about it. Could this happen? Now, I want to show you a bunch of names, and I'm going to tell you which ones are actual trade rumors, clickbait trade rumors, and ones that are actual reports. And before I do that, I do want to say when you click on one of those videos and you heard the guy or the girl who's making the video say something like, I read this on Twitter, I read this on Reddit, I read this on this website, and you click on it, and you watch it, or you click on the website, and then it's not a report, it's just a rumor. It's someone saying the Canucks could be interested in this guy. This guy might be a good fit. The Vancouver Canucks should consider trading for this guy. That means that that's a clickbait rumor, or just a rumor, something that they're trying to come up to get some clicks, to get some views. And I get it. We live in the internet world, and the clickbait stuff works. Okay, I get it. I understand. But I want credible sources I want to be telling you from credible sources. For example, tonight's video specifically, okay? If you go back up to the top or go back to the front, you notice how it said, why would they do this? What are they doing there? And it's Thomas Drance saying, from what I'm hearing, it's Lecker-Mackey or Baines coming up. By the way, I need to stop that that poll. Let's stop that poll right now. End poll. Now, here's the thing, everyone. Here's the thing. The poll gets ended, okay? And what I knew it was going to be a landslide. I knew I didn't even need to do this. But I knew that it was going to be a landslide. It was going to be Lecker-Mackey. People want to see Lecker-Mackey come up to this team. My guess is it's going to be Baines. That's what I think is coming up, is Baines. But I know that our fan base wants Lecker-Mackey. 77%. DPD, I can't even believe he got to 12. People are like, we've seen Baines. We're good. We're good. I think Baines is coming up, guys. So let's go back to clickbait versus actual reports. Okay. Tips and tricks to determine. Okay. So if I've already talked about one tip. Let's talk about these players. Okay. There was an article written about Wallman and the Vancouver Canucks. And so part of it is like, okay, well, we're playing the Sharks, and now we saw Wallman and we looked at his contract, and I just don't feel like that one had a ton of traction. And it's like, Wallman isn't a guy that we're like trying to move the chains with. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just another Desharnais, or like, okay, like for example, let's just bring this up. I could be totally wrong about this. Let me just show you. Okay, so if we go to line combos, I'll bring this up right now. I'm going to go to daily face-off, okay? Has the line combinations, and let's go to the San Jose Sharks, okay? Now, if you look at the line pairings, okay, now that this trade happened, they're like, Wallman, isn't it Wallman? Isn't that where is he? Isn't he, am I wrong? No, he's day to day, okay? So Wallman, defenseman, 28 years old, okay? Injured. They're like, they need to make room. That's just someone's opinion, okay? And where does he normally play on this lineup? Sometimes you just need to go do that. I'll show you another one. And it's the one on the bottom that you're already seeing there. Let's go to Nashville, okay? Now, this is a complete rumor that was put out, and it was from a credible source, but you read the article, and it's not real, okay? It's not real. They're saying because the GM from Nashville, which is Barry Trotz, said he's so disappointed with this team that he wants to move. If they don't improve, he's going to start a rebuild. You just went and got Stamkos, bro. You just went and got Stamkos, okay? Now they're saying, okay, well, now they're going to rebuild. So that means Yossi's on the market. That means that the other guy, which is Fabro, he's on the market now. Now, I think Fabro's hurt, right? No. Where is Fabro? I don't see him here. Fabro. Is Fabro not on Nashville anymore? By the way, speaking of the Nashville Predators, get this. They got to be kicking themselves that they lost Sherwood and Lankinen, right? Okay, so I think that Yossi is a long shot. They're not going to trade him. Why would you trade one of the best defensemen in the league? Like, honestly. Are you going to trade Stamkos? I doubt it. And then this guy from Montreal, right? How do you even say his name? I can't even remember. Is it X something or whatever his name is? That's a possibility. But, I mean, again, it's like a Desharnais, a Forbert kind of player. But the one that is a report was Rasmus Anderson, and that the Canucks are kicking tires on how much he would cost. So just think about this before you go on to the clickbait and get reeled in. Just remember, everyone, it doesn't always work that way. I want reports, not just rumors. And this is what I'm talking about. Maybe they're trying to accrue cap space for a big trade deadline. Maybe Roman Josi. I highly doubt that we would get him, but if we did, Canuck fans would be awesome. You would have to trade Hronek to back that way. You would have to, and I don't think they would want to do that. Maybe they wouldn't have to do that. Facebook user is in the building. No big loss on Sprong. He can't play talk-style hockey. That's right. Horrible in his own end and can't forecheck and can't have him out there late in games trying to hold on to a lead either. Management took a look, and after 9 games, they have seen enough. He had little to no value. Canucks couldn't even get a late-round pick for him. It's true. They have 1 first-round pick, number 8. 1 second-round pick, number 20, number 40 at the moment, right? The 40th pick and the 8th pick are depending on where they end, right? Isn't it? I don't know where they end up in the standings. I mean, he was just under $1 million, 970,000, or is it 950? I can't remember. Leckermacki gonna scare Oiler fans. It's got to be him. I don't know if it's got to be him. I'm going to be absolutely livid if we ditched Sprong just for Baines. He doesn't bring offense. Well, that you might have to prepare yourself, my friend. Me and others would like you to move Grogu to where MJ is, please and thanks. Thank you. I will take it under advisement. Savvy, if Islanders keep sucking, Noah Dobson could be available. No, he can't be. He is a very good player. You build your team around players like that. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying that's just an idea. That's just an idea. And I don't mind the idea. Trust me, I would love Noah Dobson on the Vancouver Canucks, but I don't think he's going anywhere. 70-point guy last year, everyone. Yeah, Angelo, that's possible. Leckermacki. I think it's going to be Baines that's coming up, but I hope it is Leckermacki. Dante Fabro to Vancouver would be great. I'd love that. I just don't know. Right? Yeah, exactly. 2020 on the Vancouver Canucks acquired Spencer Martin from the Tampa Bay Lightning for future considerations. Vancouver hasn't done any future trades with Tampa Bay yet. Exactly. It's basically a salary dump, in my opinion. Fabro's the third pair defenseman at best. Not a good fit for the Canucks. So the Rangers acquired from the Canucks for future considerations. Vancouver hasn't done anything with that yet. Great points. Great points. Canuck era wants Sissons to come up. Yeah, Rasmus Anderson would be awesome. Depends how much he costs, though. Yossi may ask to be traded. Why would he stick around for a rebuild? Because living in Nashville is awesome. That's why. But yeah, he's not going to stick around for a rebuild. You're right. But I think he's just saying that. You don't sign those huge guys to massive contracts and then blow it up after 10 games. Yeah, it's frustrating for sure. And this is a good point, Jack. Some teams are going to be asking for Vilander, and I don't want to do that. And Angela, you're right. Canucks don't need another slow defenseman. What was the cap hit? There is no cap hit. There's no cap hit at all. They took his whole salary. I believe that's true. Canucks would sell the farm to get Yossi, Lekkermaki, Vilander, and $1 million first-round picks. The Preds would be rebuilding. Hronek doesn't make sense. Yeah, I don't even think that. Like, why would you trade all that? But maybe you would. Maybe you would. Could it go down as the greatest the greatest defensive pair in the history of the NHL, Hughes and Yossi? Game 4 will go down as the craziest game of all time. It broke the Preds. I don't know. Yeah, I did break the Preds. I wouldn't say it's the craziest game of all time. Did you hear Ray Ferraro the other day on Donnie and Dolly saying that he wouldn't sign Brock to 8-year deal because it won't age well? Basically, Brock's foot speed doesn't cut it long term. I can totally understand why he's saying that. To be honest, I wouldn't sign Brock for an 8-year deal either. And I love Brock Besser, but he's right. It's not going to age well. Look at how bad we're in year 1 of Pettersson's new extension, and it hasn't aged well. Maybe get a D-man from New York Islanders, Pollock, or Dobson. Yeah, again, I just don't think – I don't see that happening. Maybe Pollock, but Shannon wants Baines. Coach Rob wants Baines to come up. Who here witnessed Canadian teams winning cups 30 years ago? Too long? I have. I've seen a number of Canadian teams. No, I shouldn't say a number. Yeah, I have. I watched all the years the Oilers won. I watched the Calgary Flames win one. I've watched Montreal win one. So it's time for Vancouver to win one. It's possible that they could be clearing up space for a defenseman. Would I trade Vilander for Dobson? Heartbeat. In a heartbeat. And I love Vilander. Dobson is very good. Yeah, Provola, I always say his name wrong. He's solid too. I like him. Brock is going to be good because he doesn't rely on speed. Maybe. I hope so. I love him. Lekkermaki, does he play D? No, he is a winger, and he's very good. So we'll see. Anyways, everyone, I wanted to make this quick video tonight. Just a reminder that tomorrow night, I'm going to be doing a live stream after the game, and it's going to be a great night together. So the big game, Edmonton versus Vancouver. It's the black skate jerseys they're wearing tomorrow night. So you can be sure that I'll be wearing a black skate jersey after tomorrow night's during the post-game show. So please come back tomorrow night. I really wanted to make this video real quick, and I hope that you guys and girls are going to have a fantastic Remembrance Day weekend. Let's remember, let's not forget the sacrifice they've made for us. We're so thankful. We're so grateful. And of course, always, everyone, of course, always, thanks for being here. Hit the like and subscribe, and go Canucks, go.